Sews. My name's Sarah. Thanks for joining me today. I'm really excited to be coming to you today as part of the vlogger tour for Sew Dress a Girl 2024. If you don't know about this already, it is a sewing challenge that takes place in September each year, where you sew up as many dresses as possible for girls, young girls. I think it's up to the age of 12, and you can send them off and then they will get sent off to help girls living in extreme poverty around the world. So there is an information video that I'm just going to pop in here that you can watch, which has all of the details, and then we'll have a bit of a chat about my thoughts on this afterwards.
I'm Madi from Madi Sews, and I'm the founder of Project Dress a Girl, the month-long event where we all sew dresses for girls living in extreme poverty. All of the dresses that we're making need to be able to slip over a little girl's head without any kind of fasteners, all except fabric ties and elastic. You can use those too. Now you can sew any size, up to a size 12, but please make sure that your fabrics are all natural fabrics. They can be a blend, so if you've got a blend that is mostly natural, that's okay. But do make sure that your fabrics are not sheer. And if you by chance happen to have a sheer fabric, go ahead and line that. And while we're talking about fabrics, let's avoid any of those cartoon character themes like Disney characters and the like. No words on your fabric, because we don't know where these dresses are gonna go and what language they speak. No country specifics like flags or holiday themes. And please, no pillowcases. Don't waste your precious sewing time making a dress out of a pillowcase that won't get donated. No one wants that to happen. Do include at least one pocket on your dress. The more the merrier. They're the perfect place to place your Project Dress a Girl label or your Dress a Girl Around the World label. My favorite place is to put it right on the little shoulder right there. You can get these labels right here, the Project Dress a Girl labels, over on my website. The sales from these labels do help with the event cost. Anything that is left over ends up getting donated to Dress a Girl Around the World. But of course, you can also use this label that you can get from Dress a Girl Around the World. And this year, I'm really hoping that we can hit that 7,000 mark so that way we can help 7,000 little girls. We keep track of all of the dresses that are getting donated, which means that you, my friend, you need to let me know how many dresses you've made for a donation. And you can do that one of two ways. You can either post your picture on Instagram using the hashtag Project Dress a Girl 2024 and tag me at Madi Sews for Curves. If you're not on Instagram, no worries. Just send me an email to projectdressagirl@gmail.com and my team will be happy to record your final numbers. Now, if you're wondering, well, Madi, how do I actually collect these dresses? I've got you covered. You can either find a local ambassador who has opted in to receiving dresses from this event. And if you don't have a nearby ambassador, feel free to ship me your dress. If you have any questions or want any details, go and check out the kickoff video over at Madi Sews. You can also send an email to me at projectdressagirl@gmail.com. And by the way, in case you haven't done it yet, make sure that you subscribe to this video right down there. Check out those little buttons down there. Subscribe, hit that bell, and turn on all of your notifications because you don't want to miss any of the amazing videos that this amazing YouTube creator is making for you. I mean, you really don't want to miss another dress, do you? So go and hit that subscribe button.
So hopefully you found that video really helpful. As you can see, they obviously want people making lots of dresses, but there are certain stipulations. So the types of fabric you can use, they need to have at least one pocket, the use of a label, things like that. So that video has all of the information you need, and there will also be a link in the box below, which will link you to a list of distributors for the dresses. So once you've finished your dresses, you can find someone fairly local to you to whom you can send your dresses, and then they will take care of distributing them elsewhere. Now, I became aware of this challenge for the first time last year, and it was because Yvette from Blossom Sandwich had made lots of dresses. And for me, September this year and last year have been very busy. I got married in October last year, so when I found out about the challenge, it was quite late in the month, and also I was in the midst of crazy wedding sewing and planning. And this year, I'm again in the middle of crazy honeymoon sewing and planning. So this year, I'm not taking part, but I am definitely going to next year. And so I thought what I would do is talk about an idea I've had for the year ahead. So I am part, as I said, of the vlogger tour. There have been vlogs pretty much every day. We are obviously getting towards the end of the month, which means it's quite late to be joining in. You still definitely can join in. So I'm going to share some speedy dress patterns that you can sew up. And also I wanted to talk about what I was thinking about my involvement next year, because I think it's a really good task to get involved in, and I would really love to. And just the past 2 years, it hasn't quite lined up with my other commitments, and we moved house this year and all of this, so it's just been stressful. But I'm thinking for next year, I definitely want to get involved. And what I'm going to do for this year is whenever I make a project, if I have fabric left over, I'm going to put it, if it's appropriate to the requirements, so it needs to be a natural, mostly a natural fibre, I will put those aside in a bag with a plan to use those. So I'm going to collect fabric through the year so that next September I have sort of a pool of fabrics to choose from, and so that I can really hit the ground running. So I would recommend, if you are seeing this video and you're thinking, oh, I would have done that, but I didn't have time, or oh, I feel like I've only just found out and I wouldn't have time to send them off. I think the dresses have to be sent off by the 4th of October, I think. Double check that in the video. Then maybe we can look at how to plan to get involved next year, because this is such a successful challenge. I'm sure it will be around next year. Murray is amazing for setting this up and running it, so I'm really sure that there'll be more opportunities. So if you can't get involved this year, I would definitely say it's worth considering just putting some bits and bobs aside, so that next September we're all ready to hit the ground running. Now, excuse me for having some notes here, but I wanted to talk to you about some patterns that might be quite quick to sew up. So the plus side of children's patterns is obviously children, smaller, depending on which age you're making. So it can be quicker, and it can also be a really good way to get rid of smaller cuts of fabric if they wouldn't make a garment for yourself. So I have made, picked a selection of free patterns and then some paid for children's patterns as well that I think will be really quick to sew up. So even if all you have time for at the moment is to make up one dress before the end of the month, hopefully there's something in here for you. So I wanted to start off with the peasant dress. Now, I know if you've seen Yvette's video, she has made up loads of these. It's a free pattern by Scattered Thoughts of a Crafty Mum. It's got a nice ruffle. One of the other key elements about making dresses for this challenge is that they cannot have any tricky fixtures or fastenings, so it has to be something they can pull over their head. I think you can have elastic, that's it, but no buttons, no zips. So that actually rules out quite a few children's dresses, although you can often make adaptations to allow that. For example, you are allowed to have little ties. So some of the patterns, I haven't listed patterns with the keyhole, but if you have a children's dress pattern that has a little keyhole opening at the back with a button, you can really easily normally add ties in to that instead of the button, and that then would mean that it is appropriate. So the peasant dress is a really easy over the top ruffle dress. I also came across the summer picnic dress, which is by the Cottage Mama. This is another free pattern. It goes from size 12 months to 4 years. It has adjustable tie straps, which are obviously good because if the child sort of grows, you can adjust those so the dress will hopefully fit for a bit longer. It has optional ruffle on the skirt. It's very, there's a lot of volume, so again, lots of growing space. And you could very easily add trims or and a pocket. There aren't pockets in the pattern, but you can add a patch pocket really easily, or even an inseam pocket if you wanted, or a little chest pocket or something. So it'd be very easy to make that one adhere to the rules of the challenge. We also, another free pattern is by Simple Simon, and it is called the sundress pattern. This has a gathered skirt and it has bias tape bow straps. So if you have some bias binding, you can use this to make some nice tie up bow straps. So again, using hopefully with just a little bit of fabric and some bias tape, if you've got it, you can make a really sweet dress. When we're looking at dresses that aren't free, I have a favourite that I make loads for my godchildren. This is the Poppy and Jazz pansy dress. So Poppy and Jazz is the children's wing of Sew Over It. And the pansy dress is a jersey dress. I always make it using cotton jersey. You could also really easily swap out the skirt for a woven skirt if you wanted to. Like that would not be tricky at all. And I love making this for my godchildren because it's really quick to sew. Normally I'll get like a fun fabric, so and sometimes it'll be like sparkly, so it'll be more of a party dress, or it might be something they wear day to day, but I just find it's a really wearable pattern. All of them have loved wearing those dresses. Very, very quick to make. They always seem to fit. I just make them in their size, their age range, and they've always fit really nicely, and generally have been a good make, and they tend to last them. The sizes and the way it fits mean that they tend to be able to fit into them for quite a long time, so they get a lot of wear out of them, which is also great. So that is one that I will personally recommend very happily. Style Arc have a dress called Heidi. I believe there's a children one and an adult one, so make sure you look at the children's Heidi. So this is very full and free flowing. It does not have sleeves. It has neckline gathers and a tie, a front neck tie. So that's how it is held together. And it has a high-low hem. So this is quite a fun one. Maybe for practical reasons, like don't go too dramatic with the high-low hem. But the benefit of a high-low hem is obviously it makes it easier for sort of running about and things like that, because you don't have a long skirt getting in the way. So that's another really good one. Little Rosy Cheeks have recently started doing patterns, so I've been a big fan of their designs for labels for a really long time, and now they make children's patterns, and the Mizzle dress caught my eye. So this is another dress with a jersey top and a woven base. It includes pockets already, and it covers from ages 3 to 14. So I think the upper range for Project Dress a Girl is 12. So this would be a good one for that. I think the sort of tween age of patterns can be a bit tricky, and I suspect more people will be making the younger sizes because it uses less fabric and things like that. So I think if you have the things around to make a sort of something for a 10, 11, 12-year-old, then amazing. And this would be a really good pattern. Obviously, a jersey top means an easier fit. So, and just more comfort and also a bit more growing space. So I think that's a really good choice. And then the last one is the Lily Array pattern, which is from Bobbins and Buttons. It has a ruffle sleeve, a loose fit, so again it will hopefully fit for a while, and an elasticated neckline. So I will try and put pictures in of these as you go through so you can sort of visualize them, but all of them fit the rules for the challenge, give or take a pocket. So the most you'll need to do is add a pocket. All of them can be sewn up pretty quickly. All of them can be sewn up in fabrics that you probably have in your stash or in your remnants that you have left. So there are some really good options out there. So if you're thinking, oh, I'd love to get involved, but maybe I've left it too late, it's never too late. Some of these patterns are free. You can get them as PDF downloads, a lot of them, print at home ones, and generally with kids stuff it's not too bad printing them out on A4 and sticking them together, because obviously the pieces are smaller, so you shouldn't have as many pieces to stick together. So I hope that's given you some inspiration. If you aren't able to get involved this year, if you're in the same position as me, then obviously maybe you'll join me with putting scraps aside so that we can, not even scraps, putting remnants and putting leftover fabric cuts aside for the year so that come next September, we're all ready to really go for it and make as many dresses as possible. That's definitely something that I'm going to do this year. If you want some more inspiration, as I said, there have been vlogs all month. So check out the hashtag, which is Project Dress a Girl 2024. And you will see on both Instagram and YouTube lots of different things that people have been making, lots of plans, lots of ideas, lots of patterns. So please do check those out. And hopefully lots of people will be able to join me next time and hopefully make some things this year. You've got a few days left, so go for it. All right, thanks so much, guys. You take care. Bye.